Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
I'm Trevor Hankins.
And you're on the air with Power Squared. This week we had planned to spend the show unboxing and signing the fine prints that were supposed to come as part of the Kickstarter for some people that got that reward tier.
Yes.
Don't have them. And we have a guest next week, so we thought this week, hey, let's talk about summer movies.
Yeah.
Right. So, and while we do a comic book and a handful of people read it, actually we do a blog about movie and game reviews, and we get about over 100 people a day look at it. So it's not, we're talking about movies isn't new for us.
Yeah.
So I just want to kind of paraphrase that for people. So we thought we would talk about some movies that have already come out and new movies that are coming out this summer.
Yeah.
So we're going to start way before summer with The Bad Guys, which is a movie we actually saw in the theater.
Yes.
Yes.
Trevor, you want to talk about that?
I loved it.
I know. And both of you have read the books?
Yeah, I have now read the first three, and I could see how the movie is more an adaptation of the first three, but it does its own thing really well.
Yeah.
And so Trevor wrote the review.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's up on Trophy Unlocked.
.blogspot.com.
Okay. So make sure which is the blog that I was referring to.
I was so hyped for the movie that I had read the first three books beforehand.
And you have since read all of them.
Right, so you're caught up in the multiverse of The Bad Guys.
Yes.
All right. So another movie came out over Mother's Day that I guess what people would consider the start of summer.
Yeah.
Because there's always a movie in May that comes out, and that seems to be like the beginning of it. And that was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Which, okay, we haven't seen it in the theater.
No, we have not.
It was sort of, I think the collective idea was it's going to be a super spreader event. Yeah. Everybody's packed into a theater, 70 some places were 70 shows a day.
Yeah.
Some theaters, it just seemed like this is a situation to avoid.
Too much hype.
Considering what happened with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right, which we saw later and liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just the first Doctor Strange is really good in Avenger movies.
Yeah, he's good as part of a team.
Right. The first, my first reaction to seeing the first Doctor Strange movie was sort of like homework. You had to do it. You had to watch it. It wasn't like, woohoo, Doctor Strange.
I mean, Strange has an interesting backstory,
yes.
And in the first movie, the visuals were like really good, and it carried over into No Way Home, and that it might have even looked better in No Way Home.
Right. And Sam Raimi directed it, so and he directed
this new one, yeah.
Yeah, and he directed the best Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
So I'd like to see it. It wasn't enough of a pull to go. I want to go risk COVID.
Yeah.
Probably gonna wait for Disney Plus on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I will say with Doctor Strange 2, I guess I should say. I tried to look up, what sort of homework you have to do before watching it, and because at this point every MCU movie has homework now.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a solid consensus on what else we would have to have seen. The only thing I'm for sure aware of is WandaVision, but we didn't actually plan on watching that.
We opted out of the
Marvel lifestyle.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help that a lot of people keep listing things that are only tangentially related to the concept of a multiverse, even if they have nothing to do with the MCU.
Yeah, so that makes it harder to figure it out.
Yeah, and a movie to me I should be able to go see it and not have seen something else and understand it.
Yeah.
That's a bad movie when you have to have had seen something. Even if it's a sequel, it should stand on its own.
Then I guess most of the MCU is bad.
Well, but I'm just saying. But the movies, if you went and watched them, you would. It deepens your enjoyment.
I know what you mean.
But okay.
It shouldn't be required viewing.
Right. And I kind of felt when we went to see Doctor Strange, he's going to show up. We have to watch him.
I would say the only exception to that is if it's clearly a serialized story.
And nothing against Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm not trying to. Nothing against him personally. Okay, so a movie that we might go in the theater because I don't think it's going to be really packed.
Yeah.
Is Downton Abbey: A New Era.
Yeah. Okay. So, I know Trevor and I also saw the first. We all saw the first Downton Abbey movie. Trevor and I had only seen like the first episode of the show beforehand.
Yeah, and it. Okay, that's a situation where it sort of deepens and you probably wouldn't want to go see it if you'd never seen the series. Yeah. Honestly, but it was a good series. It's not, I'm not typically hey, let's watch a
period drama.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Usually, a lot of the BBC stuff is they do 6 episodes a year, so they can really make them really good instead of trying to do 13 or 22 or whatever.
Yeah. I think over here Downton Abbey was Masterpiece Theater.
Right. Yes, you're right, but it's still 6 episodes a year.
British programming.
Yeah. But it was good, and I liked the first movie.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the second. I try to avoid finding out every detail about the story.
Yeah.
It's a new era. That's all I know.
I think that title implies things.
Yes. Implies things change. So hopefully that opens actually today.
No, we're not necessarily going to
see it today. Yeah, but we'll see it probably. All right. So opening next week is a movie I think we've all been waiting for, the Bob's Burger movie. Because there's so much about that show that I really don't get. So I think it's really good that they're, making a movie to just really expand the stories and tell something that they couldn't tell on the television show after 10 years or something. But I think they're trying to replicate the kind of success The Simpsons had. The Simpsons movie was actually pretty good, so they can kind of expand it that way.
Yeah. Jokes aside, we haven't really seen much of Bob's Burger.
No, not really. But we know that it's coming up against another movie that might get some attention.
Yeah.
If it wasn't up against Bob's Burger, and that's Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I mean, Bob's Burgers is totally going to slaughter Top Gun Maverick.
No one's counting on that huge Bob's Burger fan base that's just going to take over the theaters. So we watched the original Top Gun. Sorry. Well, it's the character was Maverick.
Top Gun.
We watched the original Top Gun. I think in anticipation of this movie coming out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And COVID delayed everything, and it's no one's fault it came out 2 years later. But we watched the first one.
Yeah.
And what did you think of the first?
It was fine.
Have you been waiting? I mean, people have been waiting supposedly 35 years for this, which is kind of. I mean, the fact that it's taken 35 years.
I mean, I'm sure if you watched the original Top Gun when it came out, you might be more hyped for Maverick.
Yeah, but it's
Top Gun. I kind of like the dogfight at the end, but otherwise, it was all right.
Yeah, I mean,
when I think when the dogfight at the end came up, we were like, oh, that's why people like the movie.
I think in some cases people, it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
You were 35 years younger when you saw it, probably on a date.
Yeah.
Had a good time. Yeah, part of it, I think, is for some of that. And some of it is, it's going to be probably, I imagine, if you thought the dogfight was big, there'd probably be a lot more of them or whatever. I don't know.
Although apparently the volleyball scene was enough of a key moment to get referenced in a Transformers toy.
Right.
Yes. Clearly the biggest moment of Top Gun was the pivotal volleyball scene.
Yes. Well, I remember at the time because I reviewed it for the blog.
Yeah.
Trophy Unlocked. And there was a lot of, these young guys shirtless, playing volleyball. It was kind of homoerotic kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, and I don't, and I have no, my guess is, Tom Cruise is a lot older now, so he's probably not, and he's probably still pretty good shape, but he's probably not taking the shirt off too much. I don't know. Maybe he is.
Yeah.
There was
don't know for sure.
There was something one time where you couldn't show him without his shirt off for some movie he was doing. I don't forget what it was, but there was some restriction in the ads, could not show him with his shirt off. But he's probably in really good shape, and all more power to him. But it should be kind of an exciting movie, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So probably go see that in a theater. Maybe not the first weekend.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it goes to Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Well, for sure. We'll see it then.
Yeah.
And Bob's Burger? No. Okay. So we're going to skip ahead to June and a movie called Lightyear.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Did
I skip too far? I did. I skipped past something. Thanks. Trevor kind of was making a face. I went too far. Jurassic World Dominion.
A.k.a. Jurassic World 3, a.k.a. Jurassic Park 6.
Right.
Just for those keeping score.
Right. And Jurassic, I haven't forgot the second one was. I mean, the idea that they reopened Jurassic Park is crazy to start with.
Yeah.
And then the other, they were trying to save the dinosaurs. Like, okay, maybe they should.
The last one was Fallen Kingdom.
Right.
Yeah.
And they showed them like by a road sign next to near San Jose, 50 miles away or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
That movie, I was agreeing with Jeff Goldblum.
What?
It's like, let the dinosaurs die.
Yeah.
So I know we've seen Jurassic. We saw the original Jurassic Park, and we've so far kept up with the Jurassic World movies.
Yeah, but the last one was pretty stupid.
I was gonna say the first Jurassic Park. I can see why people like it, though I didn't like. I don't think I liked it as much as everyone else apparently does.
The first Jurassic.
First Jurassic Park.
Right, not Jurassic World.
Yeah, the Spielberg movie.
Yeah, well, at the time it was, I think the special effects were ahead of its, were state of the art. At least.
And to some extent, the special effects in that were still better than a lot of movies that came after that.
And it was based on a best-selling novel by Michael Crichton.
Yeah. And
they had a lot of going for, Spielberg being Spielberg.
Right.
And he was at the height of his, I'll make a movie about that, golden.
Yeah. Then Jurassic World, I know we ended up liking that one, though, largely because, thanks to circumstance, ended up unintentionally watching it for free.
That's right. Was that the one where the alarm went off?
Yeah, the alarm went off in the theater, and it was like...
Right as the credits rolled.
Yeah, right. So we were able to get a refund.
Yeah.
So we saw it for free, so hey, it's pretty good.
Yeah. It's funny how not paying for something makes you really like it a lot more.
Yeah. And then Fallen Kingdom was just a... I know people thought the first Jurassic World was a drop-off anyway, but Fallen Kingdom was definitely a drop-off from Jurassic World.
The post-credit scene was not worth it.
No. So Dominion, I'm sure we'll probably watch it just to round out the trilogy.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm really not looking forward to it.
I'm not sure it's worth $20 a head or whatever it's going to be.
No, probably when it's definitely a really low priority.
Yes.
Yeah, because the last one was just really dumb. I'm sorry. And the idea that you could somehow teach a dinosaur to do something, it was kind of like, okay, they're just going to bite your head off. It's like crocodiles. Thank you for the ride. All right. Lightyear.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really want to see that.
It's the story behind the toy, right?
Yes, it's... From my understanding, it's basically like they're making the movie that in universe inspired the toy.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So it's a making of the movie. It's not.
No, it is the movie.
Okay.
It's just Pixar is making an in universe movie.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it's sort of nice that it's Chris Hemsworth that does the voices.
It's
Or am I wrong?
No.
Chris Evans, sorry.
Yeah, Chris Evans.
Wrong
To be
Avenger.
fair, Marvel has like 3 Chris's.
Yeah, sorry.
At least.
Yeah, Chris Pratt, Yeah. So Chris Evans, sorry. Not Chris Hemsworth.
Although Jurassic World 3 does have Marvel Chris number 3.
So, yeah, Lightyear. So, we liked... and we watched the television show, the series Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, what would be really cool is if when Lightyear comes out, or even before Lightyear comes out, Disney Plus finally makes Buzz Lightyear Star Command available. Because if they do that, I would drop whatever I'm watching and rewatch the.
Yes.
No, don't we have that on disc?
We have the
premiere movie was released on a DVD.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's whatever off the TV recording we might.
Isn't that kind of weird though? You think that would be a natural that they would do that?
Yeah.
Besides having all the Toy Story movies out. And,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Disney really should give more love to Buzz Lightyear Star Command, though.
Well, obviously they're giving it some love here by making the movie.
Yeah, but
I managed to catch that when the Rescue Rangers movie was coming out. They were airing Rescue Rangers reruns, so there's probably some hope there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, the next movie we're really mentioning mostly because I guess our guest next week, Lucas Schiffel, is a big Elvis fan.
Yeah.
And the movie Elvis, I believe, is I'm jokingly saying this, is how COVID got to Australia, because Tom Hanks was it was a big deal that he got had COVID.
Yeah.
And had to be what they call it, quarantined.
Yeah.
And so this is sort of an Australian take on an American story.
Yeah.
And with Baz Luhrmann being the director, he's done some stuff that's pretty good and some more stuff that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I have the fact they shot it all in Australia kind of makes me think it could be a little fantasy of the story. I don't know.
We'll see.
But what do we have any thoughts about Elvis? I know Elvis was way before your time.
I have no personal attachment to Elvis.
Have you ever heard any of his stuff?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I know I've seen him and I've seen at least one of his movie roles.
Yeah, those are pretty funny. But I mean, okay, so
it's not like I'm super hyped for Elvis.
Oh, I know that. But you have to kind of wonder though. It's like he's been gone for a long time, 35 years maybe.
Yeah.
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 And I don't know if it's a situation where it benefits everybody to bring Elvis up again because his record, you can buy his records again, memorabilia and all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
How they got that done. But I'd be kind of curious to see it. Again, I don't know if I have to think of a movies now as $15 to $20 a piece.
Yeah.
Is it,
So is it really worth?
I'm not sure I've heard that much Elvis songs.
I know we've definitely heard some of his stuff, though.
Well, he is sort of he's a major figure in rock music, though he kind of didn't really stay with he's not raw. At the very beginning, he was very raw.
Yeah.
And then he got very smooth. And, as what was it? Someone said the army made a man out of him, which is too bad.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. But anyway, so it might be interesting. You might learn something about it. I know they had a series one time on television, which was pretty cool for 1 year. And I think it was like a British guy playing Elvis, but it was him at the very beginning, starting out doing the little concerts that he did with the group and all that kind of stuff, trying to find his fandom. That was kind of interesting. And again, it stopped after 1 year, like the Sun Records thing stopped after 1 year. Anyway, I'm interested in. I like the history of that kind of stuff if it's done well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Sun Records series they had.
Yeah.
I think it was on country music or something, but it was Sam Phillips was a major figure, and a lot of the first, what they consider the first rock and roll song, was actually done in his studio and things like that. Rocket 88. So a lot of it comes back to that, and Sun Records and all that. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on to another movie. I don't know if I want to spend $20 on. Minions: The Rise of Gru.
I was gonna say something about Elvis.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's on Australian take on an American thing, right?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
What's funny is that the Bad Guys, the movie, is an American take on an Australian thing.
Right. Very good. So it's
Yes.
fair play.
Yeah.
So,
So Minions 2. Not looking forward to that.
so this is like the 5th movie with the Minions in it.
Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
also Gru, so they're trying to get back to
Yeah.
Despicable Me.
Okay, so I'm sure we could go on and on about Illumination and their practices, but and their quality, but to I guess summarize our thoughts on Despicable Me related stuff. The first one was actually good.
Mm-hmm.
It still is.
Yeah, the second one was okay, but it was a drop off in quality. And the third one, literally the only reason to watch the third one is Trey Parker. You do not watch it for any other reason. And the first Minions movie, the Minions could not carry their own movie, and they definitely overstayed their welcome. And of course, they're making another one.
Yeah.
Because the first one made a lot of money.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think it's a dollar amount that go, we'll do another one. Not, hey, the
Yeah.
quality is really bad.
And I'm sure just like last time, you'll see Minions on every sort of packaging, so you can't escape it.
Right. So, we're not really excited about it.
Not really.
Okay. Speaking of other movies that we're excited about, excuse me, Thor, Love and Thunder,
Just,
which is the 4th Thor movie.
yeah, Thor
Yes.
4.
And Thor is, again, a character that grew on me.
Yeah.
The first movie was kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. And
The second one was really bad, and then the third one was really good.
Ragnarok was really
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
Ragnarok
Ragnarok
was
is
good.
the best one.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that goes to the director.
Like
Yeah.
YTD.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he had a lot to do with that. Now he's coming back and doing Thor, Love and Thunder, and we find out that Thor is not a name, but just a...
Well, I don't know how they're going to handle the... I know it was a controversial thing, and...
It's based on the controversial,
Divisive.
divisive. Yeah, that's it. Based on the divisive Jane Foster Thor
Right.
Yeah.
series.
So I don't know if they're going to do the same thing and that very divisive thing and divisive / controversial thing in the comics where they made it so that Thor was a title and not his given name, which was
Somehow.
which was bad. Not going to go too much into that.
And she's worthy of the hammer? Or not the hammer anymore.
I really don't know how they're gonna handle that in the movie, or if they're going to conveniently leave out the details that aren't that great.
Okay.
Again, not gonna go too deeply into it because I don't want to invite flame bait or flame war. But anyway, the only reason I would be excited about Thor: Love and Thunder is because Taika Waititi is doing it. I'm sure he could do a good job, like he did with Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I also think, in a way, Thor is also a character that works better as part of a team.
Yeah. I was looking forward to him being part of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But they kind of hinted at that at the end of the endgame. And I was like,
yeah.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
It looked like from the trailer that Thor was probably still with the Guardians. I don't know.
Cool. That'd be good. I mean, I thought that was a kind of a nice...
I could be misremembering the trailer because it's been a long time since I watched the trailer.
But, I mean, I like that idea because
Yeah.
he seemed like he was, he still thinks he's really hot and stuff. And just sort of carries himself that way. And the Chris Pratt character wants to be the cool
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be cool when Thor, even though he's beer-bellied Thor, is around.
Yeah.
And like the 5 years between the last two Avengers movies, he became a gamer.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, so there's a couple of movies coming out having to do with Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Okay, I believe for the longest time that was under the name, was it Blazing Samurai?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then they finally released a trailer, but changed the name to Paws of Fury: Legend of Hank, and we saw the trailer when we were, I believe, in the theater when we were trying to watch The Bad Guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we were less than impressed.
Right.
It actually, we thought, I think, if I remember correctly, we thought it might, I thought it might have actually been interesting to watch until they did an extended, like, fart joke or something.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah. So some of the shots in the trailer actually looked like they may have had some like artistic merit to them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like, oh, this could be interesting, and then extended fart joke. And then they lost me.
Right.
Yes.
In a similar fashion, DC League of Super Pets.
Yeah.
It was an extended peen.
Yeah. Extended urination, just like an Angry Birds trailer, like I said before the show.
Yes, you did.
Now,
It seemed unnecessary.
yeah.
I don't know why every time it does seem like with dogs they want to show them going to the bathroom at some point.
Yeah, like Clifford did that.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Because that's funny, or I don't know.
And also DC League of Super Pets, if it weren't for that, I might have wanted to see it, if only because characters like Crypto the Super Dog are hardly seen on like the big screen.
Right.
Yes.
I think that was the idea they were
He had his own. I think Crypto had his own cartoon or something.
Yes, he did. Crypto the Super Dog.
Of course.
That
Like
would
I vaguely recall seeing part of it.
yeah, we might have seen it, like a stray like bit of it. But again, I would have actually been interested in seeing again characters in the vein of Crypto the Superdog on screen, just to see what they would have done with it, even if I wouldn't have necessarily seen it in a theater. And again, the extended urination joke lost me.
Right.
Yes.
I don't know why they feel the need to do that.
Yeah, it's sort of like it used to be with kids' movies. You had to have a fart joke or something in there.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it can't be a child from kids unless someone's farting.
Lowest common denominator, am I right?
Yes. Yes. Not uplifting the dissertation or whatever. They're just sort of
Whatever the term is.
There's a better term than what I'm saying, and I think we all know that.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the movies that at least caught our interest to talk about.
Yeah.
There are some other movies, and if we left something out, it's maybe just not our, like Nope is not our cup of tea. We probably wouldn't go see a horror film.
Yeah.
Even though Jordan Peele's a good director.
Yes, he's a good director.
Yeah, I'm not anything against him. It's just I don't really like horror films that much.
Yeah.
Like Get Out was good.
Yes, and we saw that and we liked it. But I haven't.
It's just we hesitate when it comes to horror.
Yeah, this is not our cup of tea.
Yeah.
We're about the
I'm like a total wuss when it comes to horror.
Yes. And yet I played every Silent Hill game, so there we go.
But you kind of think that, I don't know. I just horror's not like, especially modern horror, because they kind of sometimes go gory.
Yeah.
To make it horror. It's not really.
Yeah, I prefer more psychological stuff.
Yeah.
Personally.
So nothing against that. We didn't leave it out on purpose, but we're just probably not going to go see it, or have any interest, or want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But we are talking about it. But I didn't want to feel like we're leaving somebody out.
Yeah.
All right. So the movies we do see will be reviewed
on trophyunlocked.blogspot.com.
And there's already one there for the bad guys, which we all liked.
Yes.
Yes.
And as we see these movies, like we put up a Spider-Man when we finally saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did make it up there eventually.
Yeah.
All right.
Even if it's delayed.
Right.
So if you're watching us on YouTube and you have your own thoughts and opinions on any of the movies we covered, we'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments down below.
Right.
Otherwise, if you want to see more of this stuff, leave a like and subscribe and consider ringing the bell.
All right. So until next time, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
I'm Trevor Hankins.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared.